Are you exhausted when you return home from traveling? Because let me tell you, I used to be. And then somewhere along the way, I was fortunate enough to realize that it was all my fault that I was so exhausted when I would return home from traveling. And what I realized is that I was exhausted when I would get home because I really was not taking very good care of myself while I was out traveling. Now, I am someone who absolutely loves to travel. You know this, everybody knows this. So it was a real problem. I had to figure out how to take better care of myself while I was out because I couldn't come home from every trip just feeling completely wiped out. Finally, I've got it figured out. And here's what I do to make sure I get the most out of all of my traveling experiences without needing a vacation from those travel experiences when I get home. Now for me, self-care is about way more than just taking good care of my skin, my hair, whatever. I learned pretty early on that having the perfect containers to decant your regular skin and hair care products into was the key to having everything you wanted and needed with you when you travel. And I made a video all about that. I'll link it here if you want to check that out. In my world, self-care is about so much more than just skincare, hair care, that kind of stuff. One of the things that is so critical to my self-care routine is simply an exercise routine, even when I'm out traveling. Now, that does not mean that I am one to go hit the gym in every hotel I stay in, because let me promise you, I am not. You will see me out and about in a lot of different places in the world, but guess where you won't find me? The gym at any hotel ever. Like I'm not gonna go there. What I do to maintain an exercise routine is I always make sure I get in enough steps every day. I love to go out and explore the places that I'm traveling to, otherwise I wouldn't go, right? And if you're gonna go out and explore, a great way to do that is to be out walking around. And that's an easy way to get your exercise in, is just to really up the number of steps you take every day. But I also need a real mental aspect to my exercise routine to feel grounded and that I am really taking good care of myself. And that means I do yoga every single day. Everywhere, every day, yoga is for me. So whenever I check into a hotel room, one of the first things I do is kind of survey the space around me and figure out where my little yoga space is going to be, because you don't need a whole studio to do yoga in. You just need a little space. And so that's one of the first things I do every time I check into a hotel room, is I define where my little yoga space is going to be so that I know I am certain to partake in the yoga routine that I know I need in my world every single day to feel my best when I'm out and about traveling. Another critically important self-care routine for me in my everyday life, even when I'm out traveling, is to maintain a sleep routine. I am simply somebody that needs a lot of sleep. Like, I think I need a lot more sleep than the average person. Some people exist perfectly fine on 5 or 6 hours of sleep, and I don't have any idea how they do it, because I am a 9-hour woman. Like, I need 9 hours of sleep in order to feel my best every day. What this means for me is that I don't schedule myself so thin that I'm not going to have that time to rest, knowing I'm going to need the rest. Now, that does not mean I get 9 hours of sleep every day when I'm out traveling, because sometimes you're out really late the night before, living your best life, but you're gonna get up really early in the morning to go on an excursion, living the next day of your very best life. And in some circumstances, those timelines just don't really allow for 9 hours of sleep in between. And that's okay. I don't have to have 9 hours of sleep every single night, but I do need a lot of regular restful sleep. And so I never schedule myself so thin that I have those late nights and early mornings back to back to back too many days in a row, because I know I'm somebody that needs that sleep. And making that time for myself to rest while I am out traveling is critical to my success in not feeling wiped out when I get home from traveling. Now for me, another really important aspect of self-care is maintaining a healthy diet. Often this healthy diet piece of my self-care routine is the one I really struggle with when I am out traveling, because the food in a local area is so much of a part of the culture of a local area. And when you go to these places that you want to visit, that you want to travel to, you want to experience the culture. And one of the greatest ways to do that is to experience the food in that culture. And it's amazing, and it's awesome, and I love it. And let me just tell you, I'm a woman that likes to eat. Now, I regularly eat 2 meals a day and 1, maybe 2 snacks. The way I maintain my self-care as far as my diet is concerned when I'm traveling is that I try to make sure that I have only 1 really indulgent meal a day. This means I usually have something light and healthy for my brunch, and then if there is an amazing healthy option for dinner, I will partake in that amazing healthy option. But if the most amazing dinner option is also not the healthiest option, I'm going to indulge in that as well, because I want to enjoy myself when I'm out traveling. Being able to be out and about and traveling the world is such an amazing experience. I am absolutely going to indulge in those amazing food experiences while I'm doing it, but not for every meal. only for one meal a day. I'm going to keep the others light and healthy so I don't have any discomfort associated with overindulging while I'm out and about. And when you feel good about your food choices and your body feels good because you've made good choices, you're not so likely to feel exhausted when you return from your trip. Now, this next aspect of my self-care routine when I'm traveling is so critically important. I don't even know the words to express how important it is. It is so important. And it is just simply to take some time for yourself. I know, and I'm going to admit it right up front, if you have other people that are really dependent on you for their day-to-day needs, like young children, or maybe somebody who is not as able-bodied as you are, or maybe an older person, anybody who depends on you for their day-to-day needs, it can be a real challenge to get some time for yourself, and I absolutely understand that. I know it's hard, but if you don't take good care of yourself, you certainly can't take good care of others, and that is just as true when you're traveling as it is when you're at home. So if you can find just 10 or 15 minutes out of your day to be by yourself, to write in your journal or meditate or pray or whatever brings you a sense of grounding peace, find that time and take it, and don't give it up for anybody or any experience, because you need that re-energizing time to yourself to be able to serve all the other people that are in your life that you want to serve. And the next aspect of traveling that I think is critically important and part of your self-care routine is to only pack clothing items that you feel confident and comfortable and appropriate in. This gives you that quality peace of mind you need, knowing that you have everything you need and nothing you don't to be confident and comfortable and to go out into the world and explore. You don't want to be dealing with itchy, uncomfortable clothes that you thought would look beautiful on your trip but are uncomfortable to wear, because you're not going to have your life's most amazing experiences out traveling if you're constantly fidgeting with your clothes because you're so uncomfortable. Consider choosing that perfect travel capsule wardrobe as a piece of your self-care routine that is critically important when you're out traveling, just as it is when you're home. Because no matter where you are, there you are. And how you feel in your clothes when you're there is critically important to how you're going to feel about yourself and your experiences and the quality of your day. So with that being said, make sure you always set yourself up for success with your travel capsule wardrobe so that you can comfortably and confidently have all those amazing experiences. After spending some time really getting to know myself, I figured out that I needed all of these aspects to come together in my self-care routine while I'm out traveling so that I can enjoy myself to the fullest and also not feel completely wiped out when I get home. How this has turned out for me, and I hope it turns out for you as well, is that I simply return home, go through my simple unpacking routine, and get settled back into my home life without feeling exhausted, without feeling run down, without feeling like I have 100 things to do, and without feeling like I need a vacation from my trip that I just got home from. Tell me, do any of these self-care practices resonate with you, or do you think self-care is something completely and totally different? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please drop down into the comments below and share. Let's chat. And if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for hanging out with me here in my hotel room for a few minutes this afternoon. I appreciate you being here. If you'd like to hang out for a few minutes every now and then, please do consider subscribing to the channel. If you're not ready to subscribe to the channel, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. To be honest, I feel a little cringy asking you to subscribe at the end of every video, so only do it if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, no worries, because you have an open invitation to come back and hang out anytime you like, because I will be here, but not right here in this hotel room, but I'll be out here somewhere making videos, and I'll be happy to see you in the next one, subscribed or not. Bye, y'all.